Mm. Hello there, Netrunner fans. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, I'm Ed, aka Cookhead, and welcome to Daily Cast with Ed and Friends, your spoiler season stream. I've made the decision to stream for 28 days in a row. Every day we'll be looking, myself and a friend of mine in the community, we'll be looking at the day's activities. Let's go and have a look at me then. Hi there, I'm Ed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Rotage. Good evening, Rotage. Thanks for joining. So what's it all about? Oh, James, Ilksforburn, just second, unfortunately. Thanks for joining as well. So what we're doing, obviously, Nisei have started spoiler season today after 10 days of tweets, slowly exposing a card. And essentially what we want to do is just in the next 15, 20 or so minutes, have a look at what's happened today. Have a look at what we've learned, what new cards, and a few takes from myself, but more importantly from a guest. So I'm joined today by, there's a very tiny echo, is there? Very tiny echo. Okay. How bad are we talking? Let me just go into here. I can fix this really quickly. Let me just do that. And hopefully that should be better. Okay, cool. Let me do that. Yeah. Right, yeah. For everyone that's interested in it, Rotage and Swifty do stream every Monday at 6 p.m. They stream Portal 2, and it's a fantastic stream. Go and check them out on the Beanstalk ANR channel on Twitch. So I'm joined today anyway by maybe Sonny's #1 fan. Would I be right in saying that, Captain Nice? That's a very fair assessment, isn't it? You did come third at the European African Continentals, didn't you? EMEA Continentals. Sure. Oh, just one second. Sorry. Apparently we can't hear you, which is weird. Why can't we hear you? So of course you can't check if. Let's see if this will help. Tell me now. Can we hear? Sorry, Captain. Nice to talk over the top of you. We're going to get the echo then, aren't we? Well, it sounded very good at my end. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Can you talk now, please, Captain Nice?
Sure. Is this better for you guys? For you people?
Everyone in the stream, could you just let us know if you can hear Captain Nice? Maybe tell us a little bit more about Sunny.
Can hear, but very faintly, they're saying.
Hear, but very faintly.
You might have to turn it up in Discord.
Oh, yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah. Right, Taj, how did you fix it earlier?
A ghost.
Oh, right. How about that now?
Oh, this is better, maybe?
Maybe it's better. Let's just have a look. Anyone? Sorry about this. It's gone from 1 to 3 out of 100. Spoopy. Excellent. We can fix these things though. Work it out. See, normally I have the issue of lots of echo. So I thought I'd fix that by... is this a scoop? It may not be. Captain Nice, could you tell us What was your corp deck in Inters?
Do I even remember? Oh yeah, I played GameNet, if I'm not mistaken. I actually played Blue Sun during Continentals, but Blue Sun actually didn't do too hot. I mean, I think it won 4 out of 7, which is decent. But Sunny actually won 6 out of 7 during that tournament. So I decided to switch to GameNet for Intercontinentals because I was really impressed with its performance. I
Sure.
played against, I think it was Rotom Appliance on GameNet, who admittedly is a really good player, but I kind of assumed that Sunny would have zero to no issue with that kind of deck, and I really, really struggled against it. So, and as someone who loves playing MBN, I looked at the list and was like, wow, this is a really strong deck, and this is really well put together. And so I decided to play that for Intercontinentals. Didn't end up doing too great because by then the meta had shifted a little bit already to counter set list. But so yeah, that's what I played.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And coming third in Intercontinentals is just
Mm-hmm.
an impressive performance all around. That field was extremely strong. Would you say that's your top performance in tournaments?
Probably yeah. I think that's like getting third at Continentals and then placing in the. I think I was in the top half of Intercontinentals, or very close to it. It was probably my best performance. Although I'm still also very proud of getting top 4 in Yakuza's first laser. Well, might not have been first, but it was one of the first laser tournaments that he did, and it was a very
Okay, yeah,
competitive.
yeah.
Was a very competitive field as well, and I got third place there, and that is actually still my, maybe not as competitive as getting third in Continentals, but that's my favorite performance out of all tournaments that I've ever done.
Yeah. Did you manage to get one of Yakuza's wonderful
I
orbs?
did. I did. Yeah.
Did you?
I did. Yeah. I managed to get one of those like pink. I don't know if you've seen them, but like a pink lasered Sunny, as well as a metal ETF ID,
Oh, fantastic.
which you
Very,
can
very
play with.
nice.
Which you can play with, except if you want to play an Eternal. But it's also
Yes.
one of my favorite IDs.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, Zerath Maxima, thanks for joining. That was one of my main questions. Are there any hopes for Sunny Power Cards in System Gateway or System Update? Is there anything that you'd like to see come back in System Update? Is there anything that you think Sunny's missing in System Gateway?
Hopes versus expectations. Am I right? What I'm
Yeah,
hoping,
yeah.
what I'm hoping for is kind of because Sunny is in a pretty decent place right now with a lot of cards that she's gotten like from Nisei before. You know, they made DreamNet, which is an absolutely fantastic card, and which I also very like design wise, since it's not specifically for Sunny. It's popular in plenty of other IDs like Hoshiko and other lists as well. But it's also very much an Apex, but it's very much made with Sunny in mind. I feel, which is great.
Definitely.
And then also Rizeki and even Gashapon are cards that are like very well fitted for a late game playstyle that Sunny excels at.
Yep.
So I am semi hopeful that we will continue to see those cards as well in the new set. Cards that don't
Hmm.
necessarily fall into the mini factions, but are fitted to help them.
Yep.
Um, but I'm not as much in the loop as some other people, but I have picked up some signals that they are not entirely sure that they want to keep supporting mini factions to to the degree that some people like myself would hope. But I'm casually
Hmm.
optimistic, and I'm definitely known for making cards that are not necessarily meant to go into mini factions work. So we'll see
Mm-hmm.
what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly I've heard some rumours that they're looking at how they're going to do mini factions in the future.
Hmm.
Obviously, moving the product to a fully Nisei product. Uh, there are some problems there where long term you do want it to be 100% Nisei cards just using the rule set.
Hmm.
And what they do with that in the interim, I'm not too sure. Um, but yeah, DreamNet was obviously really great to see as a Sunny player, I'm sure. SCD, thanks for joining as well. Should we have a look at a scoop? Captain Nice, should we have a look at a scoop?
Yes, let's get us some scoops.
Our first scoop. Let's get onto the right screen. We roll down. So first of all, the first scoop is the set symbols for System Gateway and System Update. What do you think? Much to say
I
about
think
those?
I think it's great. It's really, like it looks like a gateway while being
Yeah.
while being very simple,
Mhm.
and has a nice arc to it, and not much to say about it. I quite like it.
Yeah, I think it's super clean. Someone did mention it looks a little bit like the Omega symbol in Reign and Reverie. Let's not
Hmm.
hope that let's not hope that Nisei are gonna say, and by the way, this is going to be our last set. Yeah, and obviously the system update 2021.
Hmm.
But this is the scoop that everyone's really been waiting for today. So just a little bit about this from my side. I really enjoyed, thanks very much, Spencer and Serenity Reality Check, for the puzzle that they set on Twitter over the last 10 days. I have actually got Spencer coming later in the week on Sunday to talk a little bit more about the puzzle, which will be something really to look forward to. That'll be 9 p.m. GMT on Sunday with Spencer Dubb. And we slowly revealed this card, didn't we? Over on the GLC Green Level Clearance Discord, where you're a mod, I believe.
Yes, I am not into puzzles at all, but I've been following the conversation a little bit, and to watch you people slowly like crack the case has been, it's kind of mind blowing, because that's like not something I'm into at all, and I'm also really bad at it. But it was immensely entertaining to just see how you came to all those conclusions, and to see everyone living up at the experience. It was just really fun to see secondhand.
Yeah, yeah. There was a great moment on Sunday where we were thinking we need to solve this now, and we noticed Spencer's Discord had been playing Jackson 5 ABC for the whole day. Like he really liked that song, and we realised there's something alphabetical going on. But I'll leave a bit of that to Spencer later in the week. So Pantograph, just a quick read for everyone. Pantograph, 2 credits, 1 MU. When an agenda is scored or stolen, gain 1 credit. Then you may install 1 card from your grip, limit 1 console per player. It's 3 influence, and the flavour text is, with this beautiful baby, I can juggle simultaneous runs by haptic feedback alone. Hey Jessica, good evening. What's your initial thoughts then, Captain Nice?
So my initial thought looking at this was like, the first thing I saw was whenever, and that's usually a very important word in Netrunner, is whenever.
Yes.
Um, the first time I read through this, my immediate thought went to, okay, so this is a console, and that's important because consoles kind of occupy a very important space in a runner's deck, because you can't have multiples, and you don't necessarily build your deck around them, although sometimes you do, but you can also often just include one because it kind of fits your game plan the best. And then as I was looking at this, I thought, okay, so who wants to run this specifically, and which consoles might this replace?
Sure.
And I'll let you know when I have the answer. Besides that, I think this is a great card. There's like power level wise, although we haven't had a chance to play with it, obviously, but just looking at it, I think power level wise, this is a card that is obviously very good. This is going to do something every game. Even if it fires only a couple of times, this is going to give you some like advantage. This is going to give you, free stuff, free credits, free installs. So this will never be bad.
No.
And that for me is a sign of a good card. It's a card that always does something, while at the same time, looking at this, I'm like, this has very little chance of being super abusable. This probably, I can't foresee a scenario where this might become a problem. While looking
No.
at certain other cards, like even before they see play, you might look at it and be like, yeah, maybe this will become a problem in the future. People had that with Stargate, even before it saw play. Like it was a retreaded, it was a retread of Keyhole, but
Keyhole,
and people, yeah, exactly, and people were like, is this going to become an issue? Like rewritten the way it is. Maybe not, and the jury's still out on it. I think this is no such thing. This is just like a very solid card, super solid all around, and the artwork is great too.
The art's fantastic. I don't know if I can have a little zoom in on that. Probably not. I'm not the most tech savvy, but let's have a little zoom in on that art. Look at that beautiful, beautiful artwork there. The art is by Martin de Diego Sadaba. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But yeah, no, fantastic art. Do you want my take on it?
Mm-hmm.
I think this card's really good. I think it's really, really good. Like at a minimum, right? At a minimum,
Mm-hmm.
for 2 credits, you're getting 1 MU, which you pay a credit for. Sure. Agreed. In Shaper, where you're looking to get your rig out. Whenever an agenda, as you said, whenever. Dangerous word in Netrunner. Whenever.
Mm-hmm.
An agenda scored or stolen, gain 1. What's realistically absolute minimum, this is firing twice, right? So it's paying for itself. So you've got a card that costs 0 credits. You can think about it like this if you like. Yeah, I only play, Ilks Orban's just said in the chat, I only just play against Sports Metal. I mean, I only play Sports Metal and against Sports Metal, that's right. So at minimum, you've got 0 credits, 1 MU, and you get 2 free installs. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's great. At a bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Basically, even if you're not playing against a deck that would really hate you to install stuff during, after they score something, even if you're just using it for value, whenever something allows you to clicklessly install without going to too many hoops, that is just a really solid card. And then it gives you a credit on top of that.
Yeah. So yeah, some great points in the chat from ZFGS Best Chew. Good evening, thanks for joining. A glitched up version of Pantograph as a homage to the ARG would be funny. Absolutely agree. Baram Wu. Unfortunately, to abuse it, you've probably got to steal a lot of agendas, in which case you're already winning, right? I mean, to abuse it, you've got to steal a lot of agendas. An edge case that I think a few people have already noticed is in certain combo decks that might want to score multiple agendas in a turn, could you keep a clot in hand and install it with your Pantograph?
You definitely could. Like, you could maybe overdraw, and something that doesn't necessarily need to go out to turn that, you have it in hand. You could keep it in hand. Not necessarily, I feel you're probably not going to keep things in hand specifically to install them with Pantograph unless it kind of fits the strategy. People were talking about Claude, and there's no guarantee that Claude will actually stay in the game. But Claude is a really good card. Claude is a really good card to install of this effect against combo decks. But even for something like daily cast, obviously you want to get it out as soon as possible. But if not, like if, for example, last click you need to run something, you need to go check something, you need to do anything else that the game state requires, you keep your Earthrise or your daily cast or whatever it is in hand. If you manage to steal something on your last click, or if the corp scores on their next turn, you get to install it anyway, and then still get money or cards of it at the start of your turn.
Yeah, like I think this card's extraordinarily good, and I do agree. I don't think it's that easy to break. I don't think there's a card that we've come across yet that would break this console. But it's 2 credits for 1 MU and value.
Well, as I said on the Discord, I am really not super familiar with combo decks, and it was a thing that came up, when people were talking about, what do you install, like triggering this as many times as possible during the corpse turn when they're trying to combo out. But one thing that came into my mind right now is if you run archives and there's multiple agendas in there, so anytime you score or you steal one of those agendas, you get to install something. I don't think that there's like a path there to do something, although thinking about it now, maybe there is. If there's like, I don't know, like 4 agendas in like the corpse archive, probably you win.
But if you probably won already, yeah, sure.
Probably you win. But if not, maybe there's something you can do there. I don't know. I'm sure someone is gonna have great fun with this.
Yeah, I like the card because it's beginner friendly. It teaches you about tempo. Zeroth in the chat has said something like Stargate's a good idea. Yeah, I really quite like that as well. Where the corp installs a 5/3, click advance, and then the second turn advance to score. Little do they know that you are installing a Stargate and you're getting some revenge on R&D. This in the
Yeah.
chat: install Serene on the corpse turn with Pantograph, then sell it to Aesops after you get the click on your turn. It's
Wow.
easy, Mark. It's easy. Clickless easy, Mark. Yeah, that's really yeah. Val, thanks for following. Good evening, good morning, Val, over in Australia. Serene's a really cool idea. Are we officially calling this Panto now? Should we call it Panto or should we call it Pants? I've always thought Pants.
I don't know. I kind of like to say its full name. I also really like the name Pantograph. That just sounds like that's a great name.
Yeah.
One
So
thing that
I had to do a little bit of research on what a pantograph was. I don't know if everyone knows, and I'm just a bit daft. But pantograph. A pantograph is basically like a drawing thing, right? So, like at one end, everything's going a bit slow. Yeah, call it band pants. I totally agree. Shout out to Pantser. You sort of draw on one end, and then it copies it on a larger scale. I don't know if you knew that already, but
I did. I did not know that. I actually never seen this before.
No, quite interesting actually. I don't know whether sort of for scale drawings for architects or for engineers. Shout out to the engineers in the chat. Yeah, no, cool name, cool art, and cool ability. And I think it's very beginner friendly as well. And it's one of the things that I thought was important when we were playtesting System Gateway was creating cards that not just were easy to use, but in addition, like by playing the card, a beginner would learn how to play the game better. So they'd learn that tempo is important. They'd learn that making runs is important. They'd learn that accesses are important, wherever it is. Yeah, so it's kind of you teach the game by playing the game, rather than having someone tap you on the shoulder and say you're doing this wrong. You kind of learn naturally. This I've not played Slay the Spire yet. I've only had the last 8 months off work on furlough, so I haven't had time to play Slay the Spire yet, but I will be getting around to it. My current obsession is Football Manager 2021. So, for my sins. Anything else you'd like to say, Captain Nice, about Pantograph before we have a look at the schedule for the next few weeks?
One thing that I noticed is the person who this quote is by Tao. Who do we think that is? Is that the new Shaper identity?
I've got no idea. No, I don't know.
My guess
think it is.
I think it might be, but I'm very excited whenever I see a new name on like a card.
Yeah,
I get very excited to get to know this person, and I'm gonna assume, although we don't know for sure. Obviously, this might be the new Shaper identity that we get to play with very soon. But yeah, I'm very excited.
Okay. Apparently, Reality Check Serenity has pretty much intimated that it was the new Shaper ID Tau. This same pantograph is a relic in the game that gives you HP for no apparent reason. In Slay the Spire. Have you played Slay the Spire, Captain Nice?
I have not. I've actually I've been playing a knockoff a lot called Monster Train, but I'll probably play Slay the Spire as well at some point probably.
Shout out to Murphy from Sansan. Speaking of community creators, let's have a look at the schedule over the next few weeks. Where having had a look at the schedule over the next few weeks, is there anything in particular you're looking forward to?
Basically everything. The IDs in particular, because those tend to shape the game even more than any individual player card. But to be honest, I'm also really excited to see the complete list of all cards, Corp and Runner, to get like an idea of what we get to see. And then, of course, I'm very excited for it's the 28th, right? Is the actual release date?
28th is the release date, yeah. We get the full list of Gateway cards on the 28th.
Sure.
Apparently, I've learnt today, if everyone didn't know already, it's all ready to go live on JNet, on Jinteki.net. So, March the 28th, all the cards will appear on Netrunner database and will be ready to go implemented on Jinteki.net as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, just having a look in the chat, SCD suggesting Jinteki ID and fiction as a highlight. Certainly, I think the last few Jinteki IDs have perhaps not been the most inspiring. What do you think the design space could do in Jinteki?
For Jinteki, that's a
Bit
really
of an
good
on-the-spot question there.
I kind of hope, because there are a lot of really cool IDs in Jinteki. You know, you have Harmony MedTech, you have Nisei Division, but a lot of the latest ones are kind of just like variations on how do I kill the runner, even though it hasn't really dealt with doing damage in a while. You know, something like Yobo Institute, which, you know, allows you to like get a credit if you reveal reveal a card, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily a kill ability, but it kind of fits into that strategy a little bit. I do quite like what's the name again of the identity? Saraswati.
Yes, I think Saraswati's great.
Yeah. Saraswati is great, but outside of that, it kind of has been a little bit all over the place for the past few years. You have Yoba Institute on the one hand, and then of course MT on the other hand, which was a very divisive idea to say the least. I'm honestly not too sure what I'd like to see out of Jinteki, but I'd like to see something, you know, more middle of the road, almost, I'd say. Something that is like a solid ability, but it doesn't necessarily break the game. Something like, I don't know. I quite like, I actually really like GameNet. A lot of people are really down on that ability and the fact that it leads to really grindy games, but I still quite like it. I don't think it is as powerful as people say it is. I'd like to see something more like that, but maybe not the Glaciary, because Jinteki has plenty of good Glacier IDs already.
Yeah, I think there's other ways. I think the Trap Ice in Ashes is very underused, like FTP and stuff like that, and loot box. And I think there's a deck there somewhere, and maybe that needs a little bit more support. But
maybe something like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Jinteki ID, although it does kind of fit some of their cards. An ID that does something when it trashes an ice, or even when it or the runner trashes an ice, is kind of like a soft defense against stuff like Parasite and so on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And that would synergize with Trap Ice. I don't know. I'm kind of spitballing here. I'm definitely not a game designer, but that would be something that.
Yeah, that's coming out on the 5th. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have to count days still. Everyone has to have to count the numbers and days. So that's Friday. Friday, something to look forward to on Friday. Jinteki ID and Faction. I'm particularly excited about Community Week. It was hinted today that there are some quote unquote new content creators. And just wonder what that means, because I don't believe anyone's going to launch a new stream of any sort, or maybe they will, but creators plural. I just wonder if we've got some special guest content creators in the community that we haven't seen for a while.
Have we gotten
some returns?
So we'll get like streams, or is it still up in the air what kind of content we'll get for that week?
Honestly, I have no idea what we're going to be. I genuinely, hand on heart, I don't know what we're going to see that week. I've just seen a few things that made me have a few ideas, and I kind of don't want to say them out loud in case they're true, and it would spoil the magic. Confirming that Ben Lee's coming back. That's you won't believe. Yeah, they've been saying stuff like, you won't believe who's scooping. Any wild guesses? I think there might be, like, my guess, genuinely, I don't know. I think Winning Agenda folks may well be coming back. Jess from the Winning Agenda, for example. A returning world champion, potentially. Yeah, Ben Lee, potentially. But I'm thinking a little bit outside of Netrunner over the last 5 years, okay? I think SUSD, I think we might possibly be seeing a face from there, but I've not had anything confirmed or anything. It's me. Hi, yeah, Jessica, that's right, it's me. I've just got a feeling we might be seeing something from SUSD, but I've not heard anything to corroborate that. I don't want to disappoint anyone. Hopefully, the winning agenda will have. Fingers crossed. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Great to see Jess Horrig back. Quins and Lay's glorious return. Yeah, potentially. Loads of options there. It'd be really cool. Really, really cool. Really interesting. There's 1,000 different people it could be. But I just think we're going to have a really big surprise that week. That's my suspicion.
You've gotten me super excited for Community Week now as well.
I'm so super excited for Community Week. Just something before we go this evening. So I'm excited about the next 4 weeks. I know you are as well, Captain. Nice. I just wanted to make sure everyone else was excited. So I thought I'd run a little kind of fan competition over the next few weeks. Yeah, I like competitions. So I'm going to be giving away some prizes, and what I would like to see, and maybe you could help me judge this as well, Captain Nice. I'd like to see some kind of community contribution in the form of art in some way. Maybe a story, maybe a piece of art, maybe a song, maybe a theme tune for this stream, maybe a picture of a cake that you made, an original idea. Something that the gateway or system update has inspired you to do in some way, shape, or form. Zeroth Maxima, that's correct. You've never asked in your life.
Someone has to do a Pantograph cosplay.
Pantograph cosplay is a brilliant idea. Pantograph cosplay is absolutely brilliant idea. Related to this stream, no. Not related to this stream, related to Gateway and Update. So maybe it's a card, maybe it's a faction that you're interested in, maybe it's a character, maybe it's a bit of flavor text, and you read some flavor text and you think, I want to write a story or a song or draw a picture or something like that. Where can you find me? You can find me on the Green Level Clearance Discord. You find that in the information down below. I'll be putting all these videos up on YouTube as well. Why is this stream not called Refried Scoops? It's not Refried Scoops. I'm giving my own personal scoops with a friend in the community. It's the daily casts. It's every day. I want you to know, Mr. Cowboy Sanjay, I want you to know that I paused an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! To watch this. Sanjay, we're running to the end. Just talking about the competition, Captain Nice. I do have 3 prizes that I'm putting up. For second runner-up, I've got 3 copies of House of Knives. House of Knives in reverse there. For a new player, that's absolutely super cool. If you haven't had House of Knives, you should have been playing in some tournaments over the last 6 months. Where have you been? In second place, inspired by yourself, Captain Nice. I've got 3 copies of Security Nexus. Security Nexus alt art. Beautiful alt art here by Agri Karula One.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Stunning. Stunning, stunning. And then top prize. A lot of new players, you may be very, very excited about this. If you're new to the game and you're looking for a playmat, I'll be giving away my own personal copy of this rather wonderful playmat. Can you remember what this piece of art's called? I know it's from World of Android.
Oh, that's a great question. I legit can't remember.
No. It's a good one, isn't it?
I've seen it a million times, but I can't name it.
It's called something like The Creator or the Designer. Yeah, it's like the Rev Core, exactly. It's the revised core set box art, but I can't remember what the piece is called.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember the actual. Yeah, I can't remember the actual name either. No, it's not coming to me either. I actually don't own a copy of Revised Core, but I've seen that art so many times, and it's really good too. It's a really good art.
Yeah. So hopefully there's some quite varied, at least, but interesting prizes if you are new to the game. Things you'd like to own. If you're not new to the game, then you can get some of my stuff, and I'll sign it or like rub it against myself so it smells of me or whatever you want. Yeah, take a picture of myself with it. Captain Nice, thanks ever so much for joining me this evening.
Thank you for having me.
as always, it's been a real pleasure. Captain Nice again. They're one of the mods on. I have to make this weird. Yeah, I'm always making it weird. Just that awkward silence. One of the mods on the Green Level Clearance Discord. Do shout if you're not in there already. Do come in and say hi. We've got a Scoops discussion. We've got a Scoops discussion going on in one of the channels. Come and have a little chat about the cards and stuff like that. Tomorrow, I'll have a new guest. But this evening, thank you very much, Captain Nuss. Thanks ever so much for joining. And thanks everyone in the chat for joining. It'll be tomorrow at 9 p.m. GMT. Sorry if you missed the start of the stream tonight. And sorry for the audio problems at the start, but that should be sorted for tomorrow. Captain Nuss, enjoy the rest of Scoop season.
Yeah, you too, and have a good evening.
Yeah, I will do. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Good night.